Sumasakit ba ang inyong dibdib? Meron ba kayong chest pain? Sumasakit yung ulo, headache, at hindi makatulog? And among other concerns when it comes to low carb, that's the thing that we will talk about tonight. So welcome po everyone. I'm Dr. Josephine Grace Rohatan. I hope you are all well. And today, pag-uusapan natin yung mga common signs and symptoms na na-experience, especially for beginners and even if yung mga matagal na naglo-low carb, pero meron pa rin silang ganitong nararamdaman. So actually, for these things, chest pain, headache, and insomnia, merong dalawang two common causes. There are other causes, but in my experience, ito yung top two common causes. And we will discuss how we can address that. And of course, if you have your own concerns and questions na hindi pasok sa chest pain, headache, and insomnia, try to make sure na malagay nyo yan sa comment section and we will do our best to discuss that in 30 minutes time. So good evening, everyone. Hello po. Maraming salamat for always watching, and I hope you can share this in your timeline, in your group chats, and make sure na malalaman ng mga family members natin and also kung sino man yung pwedeng matulungan natin with this live episode. So, to start with, unahin natin yung chest pain. There are different kinds of chest pain, but usually yung unahin natin yung pinaka-delikado. So, if in medicine, kapag merong pasyente na dumating sa emergency room na nagko-complain ng chest pain, tapos tinatanong if it's merong tinatawag nating impending doom, yung feeling mo na parang mamamatay ka na at sobrang sakit na yan, and usually yan ay sign na it can be serious, especially if there is this sign na nilalagay yung chest dito. So that might be real sign of possible MI or myocardial infarction, or in layman's term, parang itong heart attack. So if merong ganon, immediately go to the emergency room. However, if hindi naman ganon, it's just chest pain, yung parang tinutusok, sometimes it might feel like stabbing, parang merong knife or needle na tumutusok. As scary as it may feel, actually, yun ay mostly, musculoskeletal. It can be related to the musculoskeletal system na merong mga muscles na nagko-contract, or baka nakulangan lang ng circulation ang inyong chest area. Kasi when it comes to pain, maraming nerve endings yung ating katawan. And yung nagsusupply ng nerve ending sa ating heart, ganun din po ang nagsusupply ng nerve ending sa nearby organ. So it doesn't mean na kapag nag-chest pain ka, automatic yung heart mo agad yung may problema. But for the common causes na hindi naman ganon ka delicado or not really an emergency, but it may feel like an emergency, especially if you are not aware of it, would be electrolyte imbalance. So electrolyte imbalance can lead into muscular spasm, nagkakaroon ng mga contractions, at kapag ito ay sobra-sobra, para itong magkakaroon ng feeling ng parang pinipilipit. So it can result to chest pain. Sometimes it can also lead to chest tightness. So yung mga pinaka-important na electrolytes natin, of course, would be sodium first. So asin, tingnan muna yung inyong salt intake, especially galing kayo sa diet na natatakot kumain ng asin. So if you've been on the low salt diet for so long, tapos nag-low carb kayo, ay baka sobra-sobra na yung pagbaba ng salt or asin sa inyong katawan. The sodium chloride is very essential. So usually I advise, especially sa mga baguhan, na i-increase yung salt intake as compared sa mga nakasanayan nating dose. Because when you do low carb, yung katawan natin, the tendency of our kidneys to hold on to salt, kasi kapag naka-high carb ka, yung asin, it will be retained in the body. Kaya, if you notice, if you go into high carb spree, makikita mo na nagkakaroon agad ng instant weight gain, instant na bloating, minsan nagmamanas pa. And it's because of the salt na nastay sa ating system. Sometimes even if it's generally low carb pero maraming nasa caution list, inflammation can result into salt retention. So, nagpapaiwan sa ating katawan. However, if you are on strict low carb, clean low carb, ang ating kidneys ay nagkakaroon lang ng regular replenishment and of course excretion. Pinapalabas niya yung asin sa ating katawan and that can lead into hyponatremia or sobrang pagbaba ng asin sa ating katawan if hindi natin ito i-replace. So it may sound like bad news kasi parati itong nawawala, pero in general, it's just part of the normal process and good thing, asin is just very cheap. Sobrang mura lang naman. So hindi natin kailangang tipirin yon. So, my advice usually kung ginagamit niyo is yung mga iodized or yung mga powdered kind of salt. So, at least 1 teaspoon in a day. Kung rock salt naman, parang 1 tablespoon ng rock salt in a day. You can put it, of course, in your meals, no? For me, I usually put my salt sa ulam, sa pagkain. Seldom do I put salt sa aking drinks. Hindi ko maalala. In case meron man, konti lang talaga. But generally, I put my salt in my food. Ito, for me, is the most natural way of consuming salt. And if you think tama yung inyong pag-intake ng salt, pero meron pa rin kayong nararamdamang chest pain and especially meron ito kasamang palpitations. So, palpitations, yung parang nararamdaman mo yung inyong heartbeat. Because generally, normally, under normal circumstance, we are not supposed to feel our heartbeat. Dapat silent lang siya. Pero kapag nararamdaman mo ito, even if hindi ka naman kinakabahan, kahit hindi ka naman tumakbo, then that might be palpitation. And one of the common cause is, of course, pagbaba ng potassium sa ating katawan. So potassium you can get, of course, from avocado kasi yung pinaka-typical na knowledge natin sa potassium, akala natin sa saging lang agad. But avocado actually has more potassium as compared to saging. So, better use avocado when you can. However, I admit na hindi ganon kadali maghanap ng avocado every day. Although, yes, meron naman ngayon, may mga season naman. And of course, there are providers, no? Especially if you follow LCF Center. We have an avocado provider there na meron silang available avocado all year round. It can be fresh avocado or frozen avocado. So those, something that you can go into. And of course, green leafy vegetables, those are also good sources of potassium. But for me, sometimes hindi ko talaga ma-keep up yung pagkaroon ng green leafy vegetables all the time. At saka mabilis akong nabubusog with green leafy vegetables. That's why as much as possible, I eat real meat, real food. So eggs, fish, meat. So usually, sa ganun pa lang, nabubusog ka na. Because as much as I like vegetables, especially petchay or green salad, kapag kumakain ako noon, mawawalan ka na ng space sa tiyan mo for the meat. And we know protein is very essential. And of course, healthy fats is very essential. Usually, nilalagay ko lang yung mga greens na yon if kailangan na talaga. Like, for me, yung mga kailangan na kailangan lang sa panahong nauumay lang ako sa mga meat. So, yon. So that's why for me, I always have potassium supplement in handy. And so me and my husband, generally, we take potassium every day. One to two tablets lang, depende on your need. And mind you, hindi rin lahat kailangan uminom nito because there are many others na nagkakaroon naman sila ng balance in their potassium. However, if meron kayong signs of potassium imbalance, like that one, yung chest pain, pagkakaroon ng palpitations, and including fluctuations in blood pressure, na galing kayo sa hypertension, merong hypertensive, high blood pressure, tapos nag-low carb kayo, bumaba, tapos nagulat na lang kayo na kahit pa you are staying on the safe list, yung blood pressure ay pataas pababa, it's fluctuating, and that may be related to electrolyte imbalance. And again, sodium and potassium is also important. But of course, to be sure, I hope you can consider having book a consultation with our local physician. So at least dumadami na tayo ngayon in our community. Unfortunately, right now, I'm not part of the local physicians muna because I'm focusing on my surgical practice, medyo busy in the operating room. But I'm so happy na meron namang Doc Lizelle Ganancial. We have Doc P. Atencio, Doc Mike Atencio. We have Doc Brian Castillo na you can really rely on when it comes to these concerns. And hopefully, this videos, yung mga free videos natin, is already enough na makorek yung mga minor na kailangang i-correct when it comes to your low carb and fasting journey. So yan, Those are very important. And headache is also related to electrolyte imbalance, especially sodium. So salt lang din. If kayo ay in the middle of the day, biglang sumakit yung ulo nyo, it's either you lack sodium or you lack water. Baka kulang yung inyong pag-inom ng tubig. So water is also very important, but of course, we don't want to overdo our water. Contrary sa akala natin before na unlimited water is very, very safe and healthy. Ngayon, we know na hindi rin yan totoo. Water should be taken with the ample amount of electrolyte. Not necessarily na yung water ninyo ay electrolyte water. So when I drink water, it's just plain water lang. So plain water lang, and my electrolytes usually come from somewhere else. So yon, the salt in the food and yung mga pagkain, lahat ng pagkain, yung mga vegetables, bell peppers, all of those, yung mga sangkap na nilalagay, mga sahog na nilalagay natin sa ating pagkain already has a lot of vitamins and minerals and electrolytes na din. So that's why it's also good to eat in variety. So headache, yun yung isa sa pinaka-common possibility niyan. Baka kulang kayo sa tubig and kulang kayo sa asin. Okay? And the last third part would be insomnia. So yung insomnia naman, kung isa sa mga common causes nito could also be electrolyte, especially if you're lacking in magnesium. So, magnesium kailangan kasi siya when it comes to making of melatonin. So, I think I already made a lot of video about sleep on how to attain good quality sleep. But the recap, something that you can do, of course, is to have a routine. Dapat as much as possible, regular yung inyong sleeping habit, kahit pa nag-iiba yung inyong mga days. So, there might be days na wala na kayong gagawin in the middle of the night. Meron din days na medyo busy kayo. But as much as possible, try to keep a regular schedule para masana yung katawan natin. Our body will get used to a schedule or routine na gusto mong i-establish. And of course, yung tawag nating sleep hygiene or bedtime habits, as much as possible, malayo kayo sa inyong cell phones and gadgets when you are already in the bedroom at meron tayong tinatawag na pagbibigay ng sleep opportunity. If you plan to sleep for 7 hours, at least nagkaroon kayo ng time na inallot ninyo na for like 8 hours nasa bedroom kayo. Hindi pwedeng if you plan to sleep for 7 hours ay for example, plano nyong matulog ng 11 and then yung gusto nyong gumising by 6 o'clock. So that's 7 hours. So hindi pwedeng 11 pa kayo papasok sa bedroom. You should have an allowance, minimum of 30 minutes para yung katawan ninyo ay unti-unti nang masanay or mag-adapt na at makondisyon na ito when it comes to resting and sleeping. So hopefully by 10 or 10:30, nasa bedroom na kayo. Kahit pa you plan to sleep by 11 o'clock. So that's what we call making sure na yung inyong sleep opportunity na binibigay ninyo sa inyong katawan is longer than the sleeping time na you want to rest. Okay? And most important, of course, when it comes to sleeping would be sunlight. So daytime sunlight. Si Bapi, my brother, would go out at least 30 minutes, magpapara, uhubarin niya yung damit niya, and then doon lang siya sa likod, sa backyard, and then magpapaaraw lang siya twice a day si Papi. So that's why 8, 9 in the evening, yung mata niya sobrang pula na kasi siya ay inaantok na. So it's very, very effective. So if you have trouble sleeping, make sure you allot time to go out. Kung nagtatrabaho kayo during the day, during your coffee break, instead of chit-chatting, why not go out? Pumunta sa rooftop or pumunta sa labas lang, sa parking area, magpa-araw. 20 minutes direct sunlight is already good enough. So those are the tips that you can do. And of course, increase your magnesium intake. So meron din tayong maraming food na are naturally high in magnesium. But if ever talaga na hindi kaya, for me, I also have magnesium in handy. So I usually use magnesium glycinate. So that's the kind of magnesium that can help you in your sleep, and it will make you calm. Mas magiging kalmado ka. Merong isa, magnesium citrate. This is the kind of magnesium naman na pwede ninyong i-take, especially if you want to have looser bowel movement. Kasi yung iba, yung ibang trouble nila when it comes to low carb is yung kanilang poops daw is medyo matigas o hindi na ganun ka-smooth. So magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate can help with that. So those things you can also consider. But I also don't drink magnesium every day. Sa mga panahon lang na I feel like parang something is off and I know na yung other electrolytes and the nutrients that I've been taking is all covered naman. So the common cause of these things, chest pain, headache, insomnia, and many more are actually related to electrolytes, generally related to electrolyte imbalance, but there's another common cause. And alam niyo ba kung anong common cause nito? Second most common cause na hindi rin natin pwedeng kaligtaan, we shouldn't take this lightly because it may sound like just very light, pero yung totoo, it can have effect talaga, especially in the quality of life ng ating mga mahal sa buhay, and that would be anxiety. So anxiety can affect any part of your body. Para din siyang diabetes. You wouldn't know kung ano yung pwedeng maapektuhan ng anxiety sa inyong katawan. It can manifest as chest pain, it can manifest as headache, it can manifest as insomnia. Others, it can manifest as parang meron ka ng cancer kasi nagiging butot balat ka na. The effect of anxiety is very, very serious. That's why if you think you have it, you have to deal with it. Maraming ways and means on how to deal with anxiety. But if you think professional help is needed, so don't ever hesitate to go and seek for professional help. I always advocate yon, pagsisik ng professional help when necessary. We have very good naman and kind psychologists and psychiatrists that can help those when it comes to these things. And when it comes to my practice, what I notice also, those na merong mga may anxiety also have meron din silang akibat na GERD. So yung mga may GERD at may anxiety, minsan hindi mo na alam kung sino nagkakos ng problem. Nauna ba yung GERD or nauna yung anxiety? Merong iba na may anxiety before, eventually nagka-GERD. Meron namang may GERD and then eventually nagkaroon ng anxiety dahil sa GERD. So better deal with that. Good thing GERD is very much managed with low carb and fasting. So low carb muna, no need to force fasting, and try to listen to your body. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-starvation, hindi nyo kailangan mag-fasting ng matagal. You can just make sure that you eat the right way. The inflammation in your stomach, mag-heal din yan eventually, and the moment that it's already healed, then you can move on to your next step. So, positive thinking, always have faith, huwag mawala ng pag-asa, and my remedy amongst many others. Kapag meron kayong mga problema, meron kayong iniisip na hindi nyo alam kung anong solusyon, itulog nyo na lang muna. Sleep is very, very good and it's very, very essential. Lack of sleep can lead to anxiety, can also lead into electrolyte imbalance. It can even lead into inflammation, and it can even lead into insulin resistance. So lack of sleep is also an important factor. So those are the important things na kailangan ninyong isipin when it comes to different na mga concerns sa low carb. Generally, when you do low carb, when you just stick to the safe list, ay 80 to 90%, you'll be fine. And of course, fine-tuning na lang. So, fine-tuning lang tayo. Make sure na adequate yung inyong mga electrolyte intake. And of course, safe list of hashtag JGC Rojo food list na magkukuha ninyo downloadable. And it's good quality that you can print from our website, www.jgrtan.com.md. So, yan. So, sino yan? Si Sophia. Yun. Ay, may Barrett's esophagus with anxiety. So, these things we really have to address. So, when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to positivity, when it comes to improving your psyche, try to think, what are the things that make you happy, that make you smile, that make you feel more accomplished, and do more of that. It doesn't need to be expensive. Hindi kailangan magastos. Hindi kailangan na yung pag-unwind ay kailangan magbakasyon talaga sa ibang lugar. It can be as free as listening to a good music. So those things, if you feel na you feel light after doing that, so do more of that. Okay? So, wag nyong hindi kailangang stress. Kasi, if you are under stress, you're already anxious, tapos problema pa kayo on how to deal with this anxiety. So, double na yon. So, try to let it go. Just try to let it go and see that things will be better. So, let's read some of the comments. Naku, baka halatang galing ako sa aking afternoon nap. So, meron dito ang nag-heal. Sino to? I can testify. Sabi ni Ma'am Vicky, I can testify that I was healed through LCIF. Ano kaya na-heal kay Ma'am Vicky? Maraming salamat. Oy, meron dito. Low carb, meron po kasi akong psoriasis. So, this is a skin condition. And I think the one that I posted yesterday, yung 5 stories na yon, the last story there, it's about someone with chronic eczema. So, ang chronic eczema is just skin allergy at yung manifestation nga niya parang psoriasis din. So, psoriasis is like an autoimmune disease na on the skin, and I've had a lot of patients na yung kanilang flare, yung kanilang psoriasis attack ay nag-tone down din. No longer needing high dose. Meron ding iba na wala na talagang iniinom na steroids with low carb, with clean low carb, especially if you try carnivore. So try to search on that, ruminant carnivore na low carb. Yan. So sabi ni Ma'am Sophia, at least, no? But low carbs help me a lot. So it's really very important kasi when you do low carb, kahit pa merong anxiety, at least yung problemahin ng isip natin is just the other concerns. So, psychological na lang. But if you pair up anxiety with high carb way of eating, namumroblema ka na sa mga things that stresses you out, yet at the same time, meron ka pang hinahabol na sugar high. And that is like pairing stress with addiction. And that is not a good combination. Sobrang hirap maka-escape niyan. And sobrang dami na sa ating community members that I've heard na nakapunta sa akin. So yung mga chismis ninyo, just keep on sharing them. Whenever those good stories reach me, naaalala ko talaga yan. So marami na ang nag-low carb because of diabetes, low carb because of hypertension, tapos nakita nila na yung anxiety nila eventually na-improve din. Because your body, your mind, mahihirapan siyang mag-deal sa kung ano talaga yung kailangang i-deal. Kung sobrang dami yung kanyang sobrang dami yung kanyang problema, especially if it's not being nourished the right way. So, naboproblema na nga siya sa kanyang mga kung ano-anong nagpo-pollute sa kanyang isipan, pinaproblema pa siya sa sugar high. You always try to look for that sugar high. So you cannot deal actually with what's really important. So that's why even if you think na eating sugar, eating comfort foods are the kind of food na makaka-feel good para sa inyo, but trust me, and this is coming not just from me, but the people I know close to me and distant ones na naka-experience ng healing. Kapag nag-give in ka sa comfort food lang, immediately you'll feel good, but right after that 30 minutes na you feel good, you will feel even worse right after. So ayaw natin malagay sa vicious cycle na yon. You need to help yourself na umalis sa trap na yan and start with the things that you can control, and that would be your food intake. So, yan. So, hello po, Ma'am Lorena. So, 3 years nang walang rice. So, congratulations, Sir Jimmy. Iba talaga yung mga low carber, na totoong low carber. Hello, Sir Joel from Calapan. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And of course, I would just like to remind you na yung National Low Carb Day natin will be on October 1, 2023. And yung ating early bird registration, baka sabihin nyo na naman na hindi ko alam, Doc, na hanggang ganito lang pala. So ang early bird registration natin is only up to this month. So July 31 lang yung early bird natin. After that, it's going to be regular rate na. So nahihirapan how to register, you can also just message our admin. So i-message nyo lang yung mga admin natin and we will give you the GCash account at kami na mismo, yung mga admins na mismo ang tutulong sa inyo na makapag-register para hindi na kayo mahirapang mag-fill out ng form, especially sa mga tito, tita, lolo, lola dyan na nahihirapang mag-fill out ng mga online forms. So with that one, we will help you. Message nyo lang yung mga admins natin. That's going to be on October 1, National Low Carb Day sa FILINVEST 10 pa rin. And of course, for more inspiring stories, if meron kayong mga testimonials na gusto nyo ring i-share, you can share them in our Facebook group, Low Carb Feasting and Fasting Community. And for more structured learning, if meron kayong mga specific concerns like diabetes, hypertension, merong PCOS, infertility, gusto ng weight loss na proper na weight loss process, merong fatty liver, or meron ding anxiety, merong GERD, all of those are now available in our website na lcfmasterclass.org. For as low as 1,500, you will already have access to the video of the disease of your choice, kung paano ito ma-manage with low carb for 3 months. You can watch them until ma-memorize nyo na at kayo na mismo ang magtuturo sa inyong family members and your community how to manage those illness the low carb way. So yun, I hope to see you on the National Low Carb Day 2023. We will have workshop, learnings, fellowships, expo, and fun. So yun, maraming salamat everyone. I hope you are having a great, Wednesday, and it's midweek. Thank you, Azilana from New Zealand. I hope to see you if you have concerns or if you have suggestions kung anong topic niyo gusto mong pag-usapan natin in our next live episode. I will do my best to be here live, okay? So merong MVP, mitral valve prolapse. Wala naman akong specific na special talaga for mitral valve prolapse because yung kailangan lang yung puso mo ay dapat hindi mahirapan at yung pagkain na kung saan hindi mahihirapan yung iyong katawan and any of your organ would be just safe list low carb. So learn more about our safe list, download it, know it by heart sa mga loyalist natin sa matagal na sa ating community. We've been here for more than 3 years now. Maraming salamat for always being here. I'm sure memorize nyo na yung food list natin. So yon, kahit i-focus nyo yung safe list lang, you'll never go wrong with that one. So maraming salamat everyone. I hope to see you all and we would like to thank, of course, all of our partners in National Low Carb Day 2022 and 2023. And if you need further assistance, message nyo lang yung admins natin and we will get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you so much, guys. Maraming salamat. I'll see you again in our next video. Remember, of course, to always stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Bye! National Low Carb Day 2023 is co-presented by Burp Low Carb Deli. We thank our platinum sponsors: Perfect Match Low Carb Selections, Lorene Goodness from Coconuts, Just Go Low Carb. We are grateful to our gold sponsors: Keto Mojo, Health Max Care, Shapes Keto Cakes, Gabri's, Natural Sweetener, and Keto Zone. Thank you and see you on October 1. Thank you so much for watching. Mahalagang paalala, hindi po ako nag-endorso ng meal mix nuts, super meal mix, veggie noodles at iba pang produkto na illegal na gumagamit ng aking pictures at videos. Paano malalaman if yan ay scammer? Number 1, tingnan nyo yung page. Kakaunti lang yung followers nun because my page, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojotan, nasa 952,000 followers na po. Number 2, tingnan nyo ng maigi, edited yung mga pictures and videos na ginagamit nila nang wala kong pahintulot. And number 3, kapag kiniklik nyo, meron pang idadirect kayo sa isang website outside the page na yon. So remember na wala pong magic sa pagpapagaling. Nasa tamang pagkain at lifestyle lamang. Magpa-araw, mag-exercise, at kumain ng natural and whole foods. Remember, stick to our safe list of JGC Rojo food list, at yung food list na ito is downloadable for free sa www.jgrtannd.com. And of course, if you need low-carb suppliers na legit, meron po yan sa ating official LCF partners. Paano malalaman? Just make sure na follow kayo sa ating Facebook na LCF Center, and of course, yung diet doktora natin, dyan nakalista yung ating mga legit low-carb providers. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channels, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojotan. And for more learning, make sure to enroll in our LCF Masterclass by yours truly. Stay low-carb, stay safe. Maraming salamat po. Till next time. Bye!